Good evening, everyone. We didn't do our intro video like always. We had we're having a little bit of technical difficulties, but we're here live on Friday night and we've got a very special guest in the house. We've got Mr. Merrill. And Merrill, how's it going tonight? We appreciate it. Metal Detecting NYC.
Hey, happy to be here, Brian. Thank you.
Right. Glad to have you on here. And of course, our usual Mr. Michael Coley is in the house. We got 57 people tuning in, 60. They're ready to hear us talk some XP metal detectors talk. How about that, Merrill? You ready to talk some XP stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, let's get it. Let's get this party going. So we've got our usual friends and subscribers and followers that are in here tuning in. We got them tuning in from Facebook. We got them tuning in from YouTube. So we are doing our double stream tonight, and super excited to have Merrill, Mr. Metal Detecting NYC, in here with us representing XP, and always glad to have Michael. So let's start with our shout outs. Merrill, this is what we always do. We give everybody a quick shout out, let them know that we know that they're here. And we've got Mr. Sniff It Out is in the house. He says, hey guys, we got Mr. Chris in the house. Glad to have Chris. We got Trevor Van Horn in the house with us. He's always here supporting the channel. Mr. Digging Daryl, all the way from Arkansas. He met you at the Kaduha Festival.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Great time.
Digging Daryl's an awesome guy, great supporter of the channel, and he's been on here with us a few times as well. Mr. Larry Stevens is in here. Glad to have Larry. Mark, the senile detectorist, is in the house, and we got a lot of people in here, Michael. Gene Gilstrap is in the house. Glad to have Gene. Mr. L.C. Hunt is in the house, always. Great support of the channel. Mr. Doug Atkins is in here. Glad to have Doug. Mr. Ricky Bennett in the house. Glad to have Ricky Bennett. My main man, Mr. Surfside Dan, all the way right down the road, just down here in Surfside Beach, South Carolina. Glad to have Dan in here with us. Old Johnny Bottles is in here. Glad to have Johnny Bottles. Glad to have him with us tonight. Mr. Chris, we've already mentioned him. Relics and Rings is in the house. Always great to have Relics and Rings. We got Miss Bells is in the house. Always super to have Bells in here with us. Mr. Old Pelon is here with us. He's always a great supporter of the channel. We've got Edward G is in the house. He says, happy Friday, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. Let's see here. I don't want to miss anybody. Mr. Patrick Parker's in here. Glad to have Patrick. Mr. Workman's Adventures is in the house. He says, good evening, everyone. Metal Detecting Texas. Mr. Matt is in here with us. We've got Metal Detecting Northwestern Wisconsin. Glad to have Greg in here. Appreciate him being here tonight with us. Mr. Keegan is in the house. We've got, let's see who's next. Detect Meister all the way from Ireland, Merrill. Merrill, you've been over to Europe. Have you been to Ireland?
You know, I always get teased with that. I always have the stopover in well, London is not Ireland, I know, but you know, proximity. You know, either London or Amsterdam. I've wanted to see both, but I never really got a chance to see England or to see Amsterdam. I was invited to oh my goodness, why am I blanking on the name of it? The big event that happens in England every year.
Is it Detective Hall?
Yes.
Detective Hall, yeah.
It was the first week of school, so I couldn't make that this year. But hopefully near future, I hope to go.
Right. The Tech Meister's from Ireland. Merrill, he's in here with us every night. Super excited to have him with us. Mr. Kevin Wood is in the house with us. Digging Dude, I sent you. He says hello from New York. Do you know Mr. Digging Dude?
Well, hello, Digging Dude.
Yeah, hey, and guess what, Merrill? He's got one of those Nexus metal detectors too.
Yep.
We got Mr. Lucky Digger in the house. Gary from Maryland. Glad to have him in here. We've got Mr. David Frazier in the house. Glad to have David in here. Carrie Pope is in the house. I'm going to go through these quick because we got a lot. Mr. Bobby Short is in the house. Glad to have him with us. Jay is in the house. Doug Atkins is in the house with us. Mr. Richard Pelkey, glad to have Richard, always a supporter of the channel. Mr. Danny N. Luis Villarreal is in the house. Glad to have Luis. Digging Canuck is in here with us. She says, hello, Meryl. We've got Gene Gilstrap is in the house. Glad to have Gene in here. S.I. Rambler is in the house. He says, hi, Meryl. Let's see here. We're keeping going. We got JR 2 Mile Honey Corporation. Said it just got a Deus 2. Well, you're going to love that machine. It's one of the best machines out there. And all three of us love the XP Deus 2. Brian DeMario from Indiana is in the house with us. Glad to have him. Zapper is in the house. Appreciate Zapper being in here. Bronx Bomber is in the house. From your neck of the woods. You know Bronx Bomber, Meryl?
That's my buddy Rob, absolutely.
Okay, good. All right, good. Glad to have him on here. Thank you, Bronx Bomber, for joining in. Patrick Parker is in here. Justin S is in here. Jam TV is in the house with us all the way from down under, Meryl, Australia.
Did you know we're co-streaming this?
Yes.
Text message. I didn't know that.
Yeah, we're co-streaming it. So that's good. I'm glad to do that. We've got.
I didn't know we were doing that.
Yeah, Drone Capira is in the house. So this is really cool. I'm trying not to miss anybody. Greetings from New York, New York. It says hi, Meryl. I don't know who that is. Do you know him, Meryl?
What's the name of the person?
Greetings from New York.
Oh,
sure.
That's it.
Yeah. So let's see. Finding with Frequency is in here. Glad to have him in here. We've got Rick Kiefer in here. Aggie is in the house. It just got through dusting off some snow in Ohio. Let's see who else we've got. I'm trying not to miss anybody, Meryl. DC Diggin is in the house with us. Larry Logan is coming in from Indiana. And we've got Tim A in the house. Appreciate Tim being in here. We've got Mickey COD, Bay State Plug Flipper.
I can't even see where you're at on the chat.
Yeah, I'm down here somewhere. So we got so many people. Dale Daly is in the house. Nose Diggins in the house. Dig Till Darken is in the house. Coming down from Arkansas. Gold Ringers in the house. We got a lot of Indiana people in here.
See, teachers take attendance.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, I have to do that. That's what you're supposed to do. Nick Wyruck, I think is how you say his name. Glad to have him. Texas Plugs. Riches is in the house. Dano is in here with us. Long time no see, Meryl. He said, Ayup, me duck detects all the way from England. All right. Awesome. And Texas Plug Riches. Glad to have him in here as well. And let's see, I missed one. Rolf, Dowdy Merrill, and the people I don't know. We are super excited to have you guys with us tonight. And if I missed you, I apologize. I'm trying to get everybody. I love giving everybody a shout out. Crazy About a Mercury. Hello, hello. So glad to have him in here with us tonight as well. So, Meryl, tonight, everybody is on here because they want to know what's going on with XP and what's going on with the Black Friday deals that are coming down the pipe from XP. You want to talk about some of those deals first?
Yeah, I mean, I saw like double digits on the MI4 pinpointer, and that just doesn't normally happen. So, it's Black Friday time of year, and, this is the time that you really can get a fantastic deal on XP stuff. I know you have a link.
I do. There. So, guys, I have a QR code over there on the right-hand side. If you scan it with your phone, if you're not on your phone, you scan it with your phone, it'll take you right to the XP Amazon site. Now, if you scan it and you buy something from there, just as a disclaimer, I do make a commission because it comes off of my associates' feed, or my associates' Amazon store. So very small commission, by the way. So, but if you do scan it, go over there. You can check out all of the deals. We're going to put those deals up so we can all see those deals and see what's going on and see if you might be interested, because they've got some fantastic products. You got the XP Deus, you've got the XP Deus 2, you got the MI6.
So when did these promotions start, Brian?
What's that?
What'd you say? So when did these promotions start?
They started today. They started today,
they
November 23rd, and they're going to continue all the way through. How long, Miro? I don't know the exact ending date.
Through while supplies last. So you'll see when you're in the store, it's limited quantities. So until supplies last.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna share this screen so everybody can see what those deals are. But you can scan this code, and we're gonna bring it right back up in just a second. And we're gonna flip over to XP's Amazon store. And let me see if I can make that bigger. Let's see if it will let me. Yeah, let's maximize it. So guys, you're not going to see us, but you'll see the deals. So these are some of the things that are on there. You can get, Meryl, and you can talk about these. Tell them about the MI6 pinpointer.
I think it's great. MI6 pinpointer, you can hear when you turn on the pinpointer, you could hear it in your headphones. You can adjust it on the screen of the remote, or the WS6. It's the best. There's no question. The products that XP has, I mean, there's one thing that you have to remember. It's wildly unique. It doesn't take the same formula that others do. And I know that it was premiered here about the high frequency coil that is coming out. If you consider the Extreme Hunter as a coil, you add it as a coil when you pair it. So it is, you're talking about deep objects that you could go down 16 feet to get 5 meters, 16 feet. Now you could get gold flakes with the same detector. Of course, setup, but it's the most versatile machine on the market. Not enough is said about that. That's why I'm here.
Right. And we
my channel too, but at least we're we're getting the word out.
We've talked about that a lot. We talk about how the XP Deus 2 and the XP Deus, they're so versatile. The Deus 2 is just, it's so many machines in one. The MI6 pinpointer, one of the best pinpointers on the market. This normally, I believe, retailed at $149. You're getting it for $119, which is a super deal on that pinpointer. Again, it pairs straight to the Deus 2 machine. You can hear it through your headphones. You can find it if you lose it. You've got that Find My Pinpointer feature on there. You got the MI4. Which the only difference in it is it doesn't pair through your headphones, but an awesome pinpointer.
What is it? Is it advertised like 90 hours of use time with it? It's rechargeable, right? 90 hours, I think is what it's.
Yeah,
what they claim. I mean, it's a long time.
It's a long time. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I've charged mine over the last 4 or 5 hunts, and it's still going strong. I mean, you can hunt with it for a good while before it actually needs a good charge. So the MI6 and MI4, $119 for the MI6, which is a fantastic deal, and the MI4 at $89.99 is a fantastic deal as well. So if you're in the market for a pinpointer or you want one for Christmas, jump on this, because I'm telling you, both of these pinpointers are excellent, waterproof as well. Just a great, awesome pinpointer. You can set up whatever the tones you like, whether you like pulse, whether you like the beep. You can set them up all kinds of ways to your specific sounds that you like.
Sensitivity, you can adjust the sensitivity.
Set the sensitivity for whatever you want to as well. Anything else, Meryl, you want to add to that?
It's a different solution. I think that some people they have heard that the Deus, there's more to it than other detectors, and sometimes that's intimidating. But I would say you could get 90 to 95% of the capability of the Deus by sticking to the factory programs, because there's so many ones that are there, and they're versatile. They're programmed to be to complement each other, and to hit all scenarios that are possible in metal detecting. And you grow with it. It's a machine that you grow with, but it's a machine that you could start off and just push a button, start and go detecting.
Right, Merrill, you can set that Deus 2 up any way you like. We're going to get more into the Deus 2 when we get to it in just a few minutes, and show some of the special Black Friday deals that they got with the Deus 2. And one of them includes the MI6 pinpointer that comes along with it. So we're gonna move on from there. But again, two great pinpointers, the MI6, the MI4. Go check those out. Go get yours right now. You can take it, you can get it, have it shipped from Amazon, get it nice and quick, and be out there using it. It is to me, it is one of the best pinpointers on the market, hands down, no questions about it. And you're going to love it once you get it, and it stays charged forever. Like Michael said, it just keeps going and going and going. So again, super, super great pinpointer. Let's look at the first deal that we got coming up here, Merrill. So we got the XP Deus 1, the original XP Deus 1. And they're offering it for $549. That is a heck of a deal for a machine that you can change frequencies. You could get you could actually add that high frequency coil to it. It's just a great machine at that price for $549. I've got mine right here beside me, and I'll tell you, I love it. This was my original baby, and I loved it. And again, you can add some additional coils too later on if you choose. I've got the elliptical coil, which I love for relic hunting, but super, super price at $549. Changeable frequencies. You can get the headphones with it too if you decide to do so. I think this is without the headphones. It comes with the X35 coil at $549. Merrill, anything you want to say about the original Deus?
I met people that will not put it down.
Right.
And I've gone to about 8 or 9 events in the past year, and they start asking me questions about the Deus too, but you could see the love in their eyes. And when you have a history with the machine, I get it. And when you've had success and when you know it inside and out, I get it. I love seeing the machine without the remote and the people just using the ears. I think that's just the evolution, of it. You want it light. You put it in full tones and you understand what you hear. It gives you the nuances. It's the ultimate hearing machine.
Sure.
You don't really need the sight. There's a way to pinpoint without hitting the pinpoint button too. If you just pull it back from the center point of the coil until the signal disappears. So long story short, there's people that swear by this machine. This was once a machine that was over $1,000. It was the machine that disrupted metal detecting.
Sure, it sure was. Right. I mean, I got my Deus 1 in 2016, and I ran that thing all the way up until I got the Deus 2, and even then I still run it. I don't run it quite as much, but I love that machine. I love the high frequency coils. The X35 is a great coil too, just starting out. Like Merrill said, at one point, these machines were over $1,000. You can change frequencies. You can go in and you can adjust that frequency up to 40 kilohertz with the X35, I believe. And then if you got the high frequency coils on down the road, you could actually adjust the frequencies up on those as well. And just a super, super, super machine. It was my baby. I loved it because of the audio. And like Merrill was saying, people love to stick that remote in their pocket and just go to town and start hunting. The audio on that machine is just impressive. Michael, what do you think about the original Deus? As I know you and I both used that machine quite a lot for a while.
It's a great machine. I've used it for many years. I know you did too. We've made a lot of great finds with that machine. You know, it's and like Meryl said, there's a lot of people that still use that machine today, and they refuse to switch. You know, they stick with the Deus One because they know it so well, and they've made a lot of great finds with it.
Yeah, it's just a killer, and it's a monster in the iron. And of course, Michael knows. I mean, everywhere we go around here, there's nothing but iron. I mean, it's just an iron field most of the time. And when you can take a machine into those places and be able to pull things out of that iron with a machine like the Deus One, it's just crazy. And I used it for a while, and don't mind using it today too. You know, it's a great machine, and at $549, that is a great bargain. Getting the Deus One as well. So, but again, $549, you can get it with the 9-inch coil or the 11-inch coil with the X35 coil on there. So you can choose whichever size you choose. I like the 9-inch. Meryl, how about you? Which one do you like?
I've gone to the 9 also. I'm very impressed with that. I just wanted to add to what you were saying before. I think that one of the things that could never be touched on the Deus One or Deus Two, well, the weight. It does not have wires, and the fact that it doesn't have wires, you know, that will always give it the ergonomic advantage.
Right.
And there's just something very different about swinging that. And the whole point is to make it comfortable so that you can swing longer. And you swing longer, you recover more, and you're a happier person.
Right. Yeah. You know, anybody that's looking for a lightweight machine, anybody that has shoulder issues, arm issues, you just can't beat the XP Deus or the XP Deus 2. I mean, they're just top notch. And again, you know, that weight is really, really, really a big factor in all of this as well. So again, $549 for the XP Deus One. You can get that. Sign up. You can get it today off of Amazon. Have it shipped straight to your home right now. It says they've only got one left in stock right now, so you better get on it soon if that's what the case is. So if you're looking for a great machine, this is a great machine. Being able to adjust those frequencies is how I learned about frequencies, was through the XP Deus. I realized the lower frequencies and the high frequencies and what they were capable of doing when I could adjust those frequencies. And you can go back and watch any of my older videos, and you'll see me finding stuff with the XP Deus One, and it is a fantastic machine for well. Patrick Parker says SRA. He said, how many buttons did you have on your last video? It was around, I think I didn't have as many as I normally do. I think I had like 6 or 7, if I remember correctly on that last video, Patrick. But thank you. Yeah, we've been on a button tear lately. Just been waxing on that site. So it's been a lot of fun as well. We got a lot of great people in here. We got a hello to you, Meryl, from Danny Boy, just the digging. He says hello.
Danny Boy, great to meet you.
Yes.
Up in New Hampshire.
Right. So we're going through the Black Friday XP Days specials that they got going on. We're going through those right now. We're talking about some of these special deals. Now we also are going to look at the Deus One with the MI6 and the WSA headphones. So you can get the MI6 pinpointer, the WSA headphones, and the Deus machine all for $649. So you're getting the pinpointer and the headphones, the wireless headphones. Super deal there for $100 more. Deal. Yeah, and you're getting all of that. So that is a great deal. Meryl, you want to elaborate on any of that?
No, I think you covered all of that. I mean, with the WS6, I mean, the WSA older version, you really, if you get another stem, if you get another coil, you bought 2 detectors, I mean, you could be really creative with, with the Deus too. I mean, I didn't think about that until I met Alan, and he's like, it's really two detectors that you bought.
Right.
Yeah, it's just one more stem, and everybody gets a second coil because you need something smaller or something bigger for the setting. So that's a given. It's really just you buy a stem, you buy a second stem, you have two detectors.
Right. And they said they only got 2 of these left in stock, so they must be selling these pretty good right now. But again, special deal: WSA headphones, wireless headphones, MI6 pinpointer, and the Deus One machine. Great deal,
If it's sold
$649.
out on Amazon, just try another. Just do a search XP Black Friday, and
Yeah,
there will be other
you'll
vendors.
see them there. You can go to the XP website as well. They've got those up there. And if you don't want to go through Amazon, you can always contact your local dealer and you can get yours there as well. So again, Dick Smiles says stopping in to say hello. Glad to have you on here. Vance Jones says, Merrill, you ever make it out to Sacramento area where we can put you on the gold in on one of our private claims with both detecting and sluicing and painting?
Yes, please.
Have you gone painting yet?
Have I what?
Have you gone painting yet?
Oh,
For
I
gold?
love gold panning. I love it. I have
Okay.
2 gold. I did some sluicing in 2 of my videos on my channel. We go upstate New York, which is really not a gold region, but it's got stuff that was pushed down during the ice age, from glaciers, and occasionally you could find some stuff in bends of rivers. I love that. I didn't realize what a nature person I am, you know, until I metal detected.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a great. I've never gone gold painting, but I would like to one day. So that's it's an interesting hobby as well. All right, Meryl, let's move on to the Deus 2. So we got a couple of special deals that XP's offering on the Deus 2. These are great offers, something you might want to take advantage of. Of course, we all love the Deus 2 multi-frequency machine. We know that there's probably a new coil coming out, so maybe now's the time to jump on one of these as well. So let's look at the deals that we got with the Deus 2. So first off, we've got the first offer is the Deus 2 with the WSA 2 headphones and the MI6 pinpointer. So you get headphones, pinpointer, and the Deus 2. You get all of that for 1507. But again, you're getting a wireless pinpointer, you're getting wireless headphones, and you're getting the Deus 2. Not a bad deal at all. And then you've also got, if you don't want the headphones, you can get the Deus 2 with the MI6 pinpointer for 1358. So you're getting that extra pinpointer, which is something that you all need. And so there's our 2 deals that we got going on there. Meryl, you want to elaborate some more?
I think my mantra for the year is it's 2 things. One, it's a complete detector. If you have the Extreme Hunter, bigger coils, you're not going to get the small targets. You're going to go super deep for the bigger targets. And, as the high frequency coil is added, you also have a gold machine and a machine that when you're in really heavy iron, that will really shine. And you have a machine also, it's capable of diving down 66 feet. What a lot of people think of Deus 2 as in, it's wireless, it's extremely light, it goes very deep, and it sure does, but it's got more versatile uses than just that. You see a lot of people go diving with it. It's the first machine that can truly fit from being an extreme hunter, super deep, to diving, to getting gold flakes.
Right.
So the versatility, there is absolutely nothing on the market that can do that all in
Right.
one machine.
So, and just to reiterate on what Meryl's saying, and you guys have heard me say this quite a few times on here, you can take this machine, you can go relic hunting, you can go park hunting, you can go diving, you can go in the water, you can do all of those things with this machine. You can set it up however you like. It is so customizable for whatever site you're hunting. And they've got so many great programs that you can modify and adjust and pick up some of those things that you're looking for. So again, it is the ultimate machine. And like Meryl said, in versatility, in customizable features, all of those things are there. And the Deus 2 audio to me is just supreme. There's just no other machine out there that's going to give you the audio that the Deus 2 is going to give. And you guys, all you got to do is watch my videos and you can see how I basically pick out a lot of those signals in real heavy iron. And picking out those signals with this machine way easier than any machine that I've ever owned in the past.
Right.
This machine is just the best. And you can run it however you choose. You can set it up however you choose. You can run just the basic programs. You're going to do great with it. But you've got so many great features. You've got a couple of different options in the headphones. You can get the WSAs, which I love. They're lightweight, again, wireless, super nice, especially when it's really hot. You can get the WSA2 XLs. You can get those headphones, cover your ears when it's getting cold. Those are sometimes nice. When you're in a windy condition, those are great in windy conditions.
Right.
And it's just a great machine. 66 feet going down under the water. Just a lot of neat things. Wireless, lightweight. Again, and what's going to happen?
It's like the Swiss Army knife and the metal detecting world. There's so many different things you can do with it.
It definitely has a lot of great things that you can do with it. And I actually ran, on my last video, I ran Deep High Conductor, which is a program that I used to use before the update, and now I'm back to it. And actually did really well with it. The audio running pitch, I ran the high max frequency at 40, and just love the audio. The audio is just so far superior on the Deus 2 versus any other machine, as far as I'm concerned. It is a great machine. It's a relic hunting monster, and it hunts very well on the beach, and Meryl can attest to that as well. So again, Meryl, you want to reiterate some more stuff on there?
Listen, I've bought, I think it was the final number was 22 detectors. And, my honest assessment, like, you can't go down if you've bought that many. You are not willing to compromise.
Right.
It's an honor to represent XP. Like, this is the place I wanted. And, they're groundbreaking, and we're groundbreaking with what, is going on, what is being offered. It's really within one detector. I mean, years ago, it was a stretch to have so many different things in one detector that it would be mediocre. XP don't do mediocre.
No, they don't. They definitely don't, Meryl. That's for sure.
It is only hit it out of the park. And I know it was months ago that it was brought up about the high frequency coil. That's because everybody is working extremely hard to make it a groundbreaking product. Metal detecting products have to be groundbreaking. That's what we do. We break the ground.
Sure.
So, it's going to be good. It's going to be really good. And, I keep learning things and hearing things. There was one thing that was said to me when I went to France. Everything that, and people have disagreed on this. This is perhaps the most controversial thing because there's people who love the Deus One. It was told to me that everything that the Deus One can do is now in the Deus Mono program,
Right.
and I kind of like that. They took their groundbreaking machine and they folded it up. They put the scope, the parameters within one program, and had turned it into an extreme hunter. They turned it into a gold machine. It's just the most versatile machine out there, a diving machine, and elite across the board.
Right. And this machine, this original Deus machine, was the machine that I fell in love with. When I started using this machine, it changed my whole world as far as metal detecting goes. It just, the audio on it, running pitch, running fast, that's all I did. I learned how to use the audio on it, and I never looked back. And when the Deus 2 came out, I started thinking to myself, man, now I've got this machine and I've got a multi-frequency machine. I've got everything that I could possibly need in a machine. And they're both great machines. This one operates unbelievable in heavy iron. And again, if you've never used an XP machine in iron, and you learn the audio in it, you're going to be amazed at what you're going to find in some of those heavily loaded iron sights running the Deus 1. And then, of course, then the Deus 2 comes out. And now all of a sudden, you've got a machine that not only has those single frequency programs in it, you've got those multi-frequency programs in it, and you can adjust those things by setting up that max frequency if you want with this last update. So there's just so many good things about these machines. And again, being lightweight, being wireless, you can fold these bad boys up into, a very compact size. You can hook it on the back of your backpack, and you can go off and go anywhere with it. You don't have to worry about it weighing you down. Just an awesome machine. Michael, anything you want to reiterate? Anything I missed?
What I love about it, and we've touched on that, is, if you're a relic hunter, you're hunting back in the woods, vines, limbs, the wireless feature of the Coil and the headphones, you don't have to worry about it getting snagged on.
Right.
Like I said, vines, limbs. It's a perfect relic machine along with the audio. And I mean, like I said, we've used the Deus 1 for years, and we've used the Deus 2 since it come out. There wasn't a question that we were going to get that machine. But it's just an awesome machine, especially for a relic hunter. And now, for as far as beach hunting too, it's the Deus 2 it's one of the top machines on the beach as well.
Right. So, I mean, it is, and like the ad says up here that you're seeing on the screen, it is the ultimate in versatility. It is the machine that you can do so many different things with that you can't just do with any other machine. It's impossible, and it being wireless, it being lightweight, superior audio, being able to dive with it, relic hunt with it, park hunt with it. It's great on coins, great on gold. Gold hunting, which Merrill brought up quite a few times just a few minutes ago. I mean, you can do all of those things with the XP Deus 2. And once you're on it, I mean, you really, like somebody said earlier, you really don't look back. I mean, because it grows with you, like Merrill mentioned earlier. I mean, you can take it to whatever level you want to take it to. And
what else I'm really proud of?
Yes, sir.
We're talking about more than a decade after Deus 1 came out, the updates are still happening. And one of the things in terms of the versatility that the Deus 2 has is the GPS and go terrain, and being able to pair it with your Coil and get a target ID on your cell phone screen, and really start to see hotspots. But the GPS, it's phenomenal as is, but what I'm really proud of is 10 years after the fact, more than 10 years after the initial release of the Deus, you're still getting updates, you're still getting improvements. And when I went to France, I was absolutely shocked, pleasantly shocked to see the number of engineers that were working, in the factory there. It was quite quite a sight to see, and how precise and how measured everything is. how much care goes into it.
Right.
You know,
Right. And Philippe came on here and talked a lot about this, Meryl. And I know you've seen it first person, but he talked about how everything is in house. And again, you're not getting a part from here and a part from there to build the machine. Everything is made right there. And there's a lot to be said about that. Of course, I teach economics, so I understand, all of that side of it. But again, the quality control is just better. I mean, there's no question about it. And again, like Meryl was just saying a few minutes ago, you think about all these engineers that are working on these things, they're not going to release something until they know that it's exactly the way that it should be. They test it. They do a lot with these engineers. They understand what's going on with these machines, and they're going to give you a quality product just for the simple fact that everything is made in-house. And that's where I think they shine above some other companies in some cases. I think that really helps them. And you know what you're getting when you buy an XP product. People feel good about buying that because they know that. And I think that's a big selling feature for XP. Go ahead. What else you want to say, Meryl?
XP don't do hype.
Yeah, they don't do hype. That's right. They just
have
do
a
it.
very average looking guy. If that, I might be complimenting myself too much.
Yeah.
Go around the country, visit people, appear on live streams, and such. Um, you know, the detectors, they don't come out like every year. Like there's no new hype machine that's like named after a car. Like that's the funniest thing. I did a video a few years back. Like, is every metal detector named after a car?
Right.
Yeah, and it very often is. XP does not do that. XP, when there is a innovation to be had, like
Right.
it will happen, but it might not even be within a new machine. Like, and that's where the Go Terrain app, that's a perfect example of that. In the case of the Deus One, it's more than a decade after it came out. You're still getting updates to it and groundbreaking ones. You could pair that coil that you bought a while back that is still formidable, and people will, the people who know the Deus One, they don't put it down. They stick with it, and they, pardon my French, I mean, it's on my channel too, they kick ass.
Right. Yeah, they sure do.
And it's another tool in the toolbox, but it's a company that's full of surprises. It is a company that is not about hype. It is about really making a product by detectorists. Alan is a passionate detectorist, and he wants the best. He wants
Right. Well, one of the things that I keep pushing to my audience is, use these different programs. Sometimes we get locked in to certain programs and we think that's the only program that you should use. But XP has designed so many great programs with their default programs that they put into the machine.
it's
You
already
need to
there.
use all of those programs or try to use as many of them as you can, because you can go back into a site that you've hunted with one program, then go back in with another program, and you're going to be able to find things with it. And I tried to give a good lesson on that on my last video, was using some of these other programs to be able to find things that you might have missed with another program.
Brian,
So
when I became ambassador, that was one of the things that one of the first things that I did was I wrote down parameters of the existing programs. It's in the manual too,
right.
and variations of it. And there's some that are perhaps up to a standard deviation away, from what exists in the set of programs, but no more than that. I mean, you're covered with the factory programs, and that's why I think like you could just plug and play and be when you understand the audio, you
Yeah.
could plug and play
Yeah.
and really be like 90% proficient with it. And when you grow that extra 10%, that's when you become dangerous.
Yeah.
I have actually had one of the busiest years of my life and I've detected a little bit less than I usually do, and that'll change in the very near future. But I've also had one of my best detecting years of my life. I joined the 1600s club.
Right.
Um, I got, I just got my 10th gold ring, and considering, I don't know, maybe I've gone detecting 100 is too much. Probably like between 50 and 70 times this year, which is low for me.
Right.
This is what I do. This is what
Right.
I do.
Right.
I've had a really good year, and it's
Well,
just I think it's evolution with I mean, for me, for years I used so many different machines, but just using one and committing to this and knowing this, um, I attribute it to that. I mean, you just the growth with that. Of course, having engineers to work with, that certainly helps. But
right. Definitely.
yeah,
Well, the XP Deus 1 and then the XP Deus 2 for Michael and I have just been, phenomenal machines. And Michael will attest to this. I probably had one of the best years of metal detecting I've ever had too, didn't I, Michael?
Yeah,
We've done
I'd say
some
you
amazing.
have. You know,
Michael watched me with the Deus 2. How many King George coppers did I dig in that one day, Michael?
it's probably what 8 or 9, maybe
Yeah.
something
I
like
dug
that.
8 or 9 King Georges. I dug a Spanish Real all in the same day and dug a piece of silver, a piece of silver jewelry from the 1700s, all with the Deus too. It was one of the most, it was one of the craziest days that I've ever had. And again, I attribute it to the machine as well as the site. But again, the machine basically did what I needed it to do in that situation. And it's just a phenomenal machine. There's no question about it. And
it's one that you could buy right now and be proficient, but I'm telling you, you become dangerous with that extra 10%.
oh my gosh, yes, definitely for sure, for sure. And it's the one that Michael and I've just fallen in love with. And of course, I mean, I know you can see behind me. Meryl was talking about using a whole bunch of different machines, and I've got a whole bunch of different machines. And again, all of them are great machines. They're good machines. They'll find stuff. But when it comes down to the nitty gritty, and I want to get in with the audio and I want to find what I'm really wanting to find, I'm picking up that Deus too. And Michael knows that for
Yeah,
sure. I'm picking up that Deus too, aren't I, buddy?
yeah, yeah. 9 times out of 10, you are.
It's going in my hands, and that's the machine that I'm grabbing. And I take it out, and I don't know. We were having this conversation the other night about machines and audio, and I keep telling Michael all the time, look, I like those other machines, but there's something about the Deus 2 audio that makes it just has that good taste in your mouth sort of feeling.
It's a
And
language.
yeah,
You're
it
fluent in the
is. And
language,
and
but
I
there are
I
some languages that are more developed than others.
right,
And
and I relate to it. And we were talking about using different audio since we're talking about all this right now. I love PWM and I do like pitch. Now, Michael doesn't like pitch as much as I do, but it's what I used on the Deus One. And so that's my ears are already attuned to that. And maybe it's because I'm an old guy, I guess. I don't know. But whatever the reasoning is, I just jive with the audio running pitch and running PWM or running full tones with PWM because it sounds like pitch,
I
to me.
like
So, yeah. So, I mean, I can
PWM
go
and
out.
full tones.
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
go out and
guess
I can
what?
start picking
And
targets.
I don't mean you, Brian, but this is any of us.
Yeah.
Me, you, the audience.
Yeah.
If it doesn't jive with you, it's your fault. And the
Mhm.
reason for that is it's got an equalizer. So if you don't like the sounds, well, why don't you adjust them a little bit?
Michael,
liking.
tell Meryl what you told me the other day when I started bringing that up about about adjusting the audio.
On what? You talking about adjusting the pitch audio?
Yes, yes.
Well, I mean, we just talked about running, I know with the Deus one, I like to run two-tone program. I'd run, one frequency set high and then your iron tone. And I've run the Deus 2 that way as well. But with the Deus one, I really like full tones, and I like the Deus 2 when they added the offset feature on that machine for the full tones. It really it really made those signals lively, and especially hunting and iron, because it tends to pull your tone down a little bit hunting and iron, and that offset on the Deus 2, it really helped a lot.
Right.
But what were you talking about as far as the?
Yeah, so we were talking about we adjust. I mean, I know you told me to do this, adjust the audio and raise that audio up real high when we run it in two tones. And you were saying how you did it that way, and it really helped in a lot of situations running it like that. So Bells has got a good question. Brian, Michael, and Meryl, do you know the warranty on the MI6 pinpointer?
Everything, longest in the industry, 5 years.
Yeah, it's a good one for sure. 5 years on the Deus 2, 5 years on the Deus 1, 5 years on the pinpointer. I mean, you're not going to find too many companies that are going to offer that type of warranty on their products. And again, one more important thing to keep in mind when you're looking at buying a machine, what's the warranty? There it is right there. So again, we got a lot of great comments on here. Gene Gilstrap says, I really like, and that's the other thing. You're not going to find a machine that can recover quite as fast as the Deus 2 does, especially in iron. And you guys know that, and I talk about that quite a bit. But yeah, the recovery speed with the Deus 2, and you can set it at a low recovery speed, and you're still getting it to be really fast.
When I was in France, I thought everybody was on fast forward. I kid you not. I was digging a field, and everybody had the remote off, and everybody was like zoom, 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 zoom,
right,
like fast. You could do that. I know, we hear it slow and low, and it rhymes, and that's why we remember it.
Right.
And I'm certainly not saying raise the coil far off the ground.
Right.
That makes no sense. You could speed it up.
Right.
You have to mimic the reactivity, of course, like you have to be aware of that. But generally speaking, even with the lowest reactivities, you could swing it faster.
Oh, yeah. Well, I get that all the time. Yeah. And Meryl, I know you get it too, because if you go out on the beach and people see you swinging that coil sort of fast, they're going like, oh, you need to slow down.
You need to slow down. Okay, you need to chill. You need to let me detect. No.
I know. That's the way I am too, Meryl.
Yeah.
They don't realize that machine is so dangerous. It doesn't matter. If it's at 1, it's still you still got a pretty fast recovery speed.
Yeah.
On that
faster than a lot of machines.
Sure. I know. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, Prospector's Cash says underwater high square is the only way to go. I like high square too. And I've used it. I mean, go with whatever you feel like you like to use. I flip back and forth. I got a PWM. I'll run full tones with PWM. I'll run high square with full tones. I'll run pitch with PWM. I've run fast. I'm all over the place, but I love those programs. And again, one thing that I would strongly suggest though, too, if you find something you like, get your ears accustomed to it. And then, once you feel comfortable with that, use it for a while and then try something else. There's nothing wrong with trying something else because this machine has so much to offer that you almost forget about it because there's just so much that you can do with this machine. And again, go out, try different programs. try different audio, see what your ears are adjusted to and see what works for you on your sites. And then, go with it. There's just so many great things that you can do. 5 Mile Relic Hunter says, Merrill, you are everywhere. Ricky Bennett says, according to the XP, the audio will be right. And we had Philippe on here, and Philippe told us that on that live stream. He said, hey, you think the audio is good now? Wait till this next coil comes out. The audio, they're working on improving the audio. And I can't imagine how much better the audio is going to be. I love the audio now. Now you're telling me that it's going to be even better than what it is. That's pretty crazy to think about. And if it's improved, Merrill, it's going to be game on some of these sites that we've already hunted, and we think we've hunted them out. I don't know that we're going to feel that way when this new coil comes out and when this new update probably comes out.
I'm pretty excited about that. I mean, that's going to be awesome to see what they do with it.
Right. Finding with frequency. So you probably won't even need the extra recovery speed. So he's right. Digging Louisiana says, hey, Merrill, says, love you guys. Appreciate you being here tonight. Thank you so much. Got a great audience in here. DCM Detects says, I have started using PWM a lot lately. Took me a while to get used to it, but I love it. Right. Once you go to PWM, I don't know. There's just something about it. It's just, I can pick those targets out of that iron, especially running PWM. Even more so when I'm running high square. I like high square, don't get me wrong, but PWM, you can definitely start picking some iron out or picking some targets out of that iron for sure.
The squares, you could hear the size of the target better. Yeah. Like I was just in I metal detected the lake before it started to rain here again. And I went to the square tones because everything will fall back down onto that lake bed. And we're not talking about too deep here. Everything is going to be surface. And, if the coil is like touching a coin, it's going to sound like a huge target. So you lift it up a little bit. And if you lift it up maybe an inch over the sand bottom of the beach, you could hear those bigger targets so well. Inch, half an inch, sweeping, you could make out the fishing weights. If it's a chunky gold ring, which happened once with that, you hear it. You hear the difference.
Well, and the other great thing is too, Merrill, you can take that 9-inch coil and hunt in the water and really pinpoint really well with the 9-inch coil. And I know you've probably done that, I'm sure. Which I like the 9-inch coil for that. And then of course, if this HF coil comes out and we put it in the water, who knows, then you got even a smaller coil that you can use in the water and pinpoint even better with as well.
Well, let me ask you this. What is the great missing target in metal detecting?
The great missing target?
On the beach, especially.
Small gold?
Yes. Chains.
Yeah. Yes.
So, it sounds like ground, and it because it's not compact, it's not together. It's read very much like ground. That's where, high frequency, it's like a gold machine, will give you the best shot.
Right. Yeah. And there's a good question down here, Merrill. You can see this. Danny Boy just the digging says, I really need to sit down and think about getting the Deus too, but at the same time, will something else come out from XP that might be even better? Well, one thing we can say about XP, when they get a machine and it's a machine that they're behind, that machine's got some longevity to it. They don't just make a machine and then next year or 2 years down the road, they come out with another machine.
Exactly.
That is the great thing about XP products. Their machines are made and designed in such a way to carry them years beyond after they were released. The Deus One was a great example of that. Here we are, 2010, 2011, we got the Deus. It went all the way up to 2021. So it went almost 10 years, over 10 years. before we got the Deus 2. So I
So
don't
you
think you're
teach
going to have that
I'm
word.
sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
You teach economics. What do you teach your students about finite resources?
Finite resources. Use them.
Broad question. Use them well, indeed. I mean, the XP way, as I see it, at least, is instead of doing the hype, new machine each year that
Right.
underwhelms, that does the same thing as the previous machine. How many times have we seen that? XP gives you surprises for the future. It's development further of the machines. You know, it's stuff like Go Terrain, you know, that you will get years after the fact. You know, it's the high frequency coils, you know, which didn't come out right away on the Deus 1 and did not come out right away in the Deus 2. You know, it's further product development that makes it more global. XP Deus 2 it's going to be a complete machine. It is going to be a complete, yeah. I mean,
Well, you know, that's the
what I mean by
purpose.
that is like gold flakes, high frequency. We got that checklist. Diving machine, we got that. Goes down. GPS, we got that.
Right.
Extreme hunter, we got that. Extreme hunter, let's say you're a cannonball hunter. You know, big, deep targets, that's what the extreme hunter is for. You have a solution for everything, like
Right.
all-in-one detector, and you could buy several detectors to do the same thing. You wind up saving a lot of money by just getting a Deus 2.
Exactly. Right. The Deus 2,
Right.
I mean, and Michael knows as well as I do, and I know you know too. I mean, it's again, and I'm going to keep repeating this. It is just so many machines rolled up into one. I mean, you've got everything that you could possibly want. And when they released this machine, they meant for this machine to have legs on it to carry it through another, maybe another 10 years or so before
Well,
they're
that's that's what you want. You got these updated machines like the XP Deus 2. You know, that's one of the selling points. You know, if they can, and XP is really good about updating these machines for years. And you know, it's like you get these new features on it, and it's like a whole new machine. So, what's the purpose of, like he said, every year making a new machine? You know, when you got a great machine and they can just release an update and tweak some things on it, and it's like a whole new machine.
right. And it goes, Michael, it goes back to what we said earlier. They're producing quality. They're not thinking about,
Right.
hey, what's going to be my next machine right after they introduce their machine. And that's what makes them different from everybody else. They think they're forward thinkers. They're thinking the future. They're looking at a bigger picture than some of the other metal detecting manufacturers. Wouldn't you agree, Merrill?
Yeah, I mean, I've really been learning an awful lot this year, and I don't think that a lot of the stuff that the Deus do, it's not a question of thinking. It's just it's not matched. Why make something new when it's not matched?
Right.
And I've been learning a bit about yeah, coil size was my big breakthrough for this year. So I just found another Trime. I've been very fortunate with those coins. So
Yeah.
I just found another tiny 3-cent piece.
Right.
Now I learned, because the mantra at the beach is you use bigger coils because it gives you more coverage. I guess I'm like 60% of a beach hunter, you know, 60-40 when it comes to, you know, 60% beach, 40% dirt.
Right.
So I would always use the bigger coil. That's been a big shift lately. But long story short, if you make it even bigger, it's going to start to miss those tiny targets, just like the Extreme Hunter does. It does a great job on the super deep, um, large targets, but you know, smaller coil will get you the smaller targets. What's the best shot that you have at finding a gold chain? Which to
Right.
me, a thin gold chain, that's the toughest target in metal detecting. I have found so many pendants without the gold chain, or chain, doesn't have to be gold. But what gives you the best shot at doing that? It is a smaller coil that goes high frequency.
Right. Yeah. Well, Michael and I have been talking about how we think the higher frequency coil is really gonna elevate our game for relic hunting. And of course, XP told me this to begin with, that running that max frequency at 40 would definitely help me in heavy iron. And I've stuck to that, and I've preached that on here about running the max frequency at 40. So I can't even imagine what a higher frequency coil is going to do for us in some of this heavy iron. And then Philippe's telling me, hey, the audio is going to be even better too. So what can we expect and with this new coil? And that's what's got me so fascinated. So one of the things that I did to try to help people was I brought back out the old elliptical coil, the high frequency elliptical coil. And I showed people the unmasking capabilities of this coil in a site, which I took it to my plantation site, hunted with it, and was still digging targets with it. And people were like going, oh my gosh, but this is a machine that was put out in 2010, guys, and it's still doing that. And we're running the higher frequency coil, and it's doing a great job running in a single frequency. What's it going to be like when we throw it into a multi-frequency?
It's a new variable.
It's going to be a variable that none of us have ever seen. I think it's going to be revolutionary, just like the original machine. The original machine was a revolutionary machine, a machine that nobody could touch for a long time. And I think that
it really was.
I think what they've got coming down the line is just going to be phenomenal. And I'm excited. I know most of the people that are on here are very excited about the possibilities of the new coil and the new updates and some of the things that are going to happen from XP, as well as I know you two guys are too.
XP cares very much about they want the ultimate detector.
Yes.
I love how progressive that they are. I love that there's a different solution. It's completely different than anybody else. No wires, interchangeable parts. You choose the parts. That's different. It's not that traditional wired detector. And it's exciting. It's exciting. It's more possibilities within the scope of one detector.
Right. I know. And there are so many people on here, and there are a lot of comments coming up about the new coil. And I know and Meryl doesn't know either. I don't know either. Michael doesn't know. We really don't know when this is coming. We feel like it's going to be sometime in the near future. But we're just going to have to be patient. Just thinking about it gets me excited, as well as these
possibility.
as well as these two guys. And I know all of you are excited about it. And we're going to have Philippe back on here, and when he comes on here, maybe we'll get some more news as far as when it's coming, what it's going to be, what can we expect, and hopefully that happens really soon in the near future. And again, I think we got a reason to be excited, because we know that XP is going to do the best possible job they can do to give us something that's going to be special, something that's going to be unique, something that's going to be versatile. And I think those are the things that we're going to see out of this coil. And the introduction to high frequency with multi-frequency combined in. One of the things that I've been talking about, not only have I been talking about the high frequency, but what kind of new programs could we possibly get with this new coil coming out? Will those programs change, maybe what we're using right now? And that's something I don't know right now at this point. But when we do get those coils, we're going to see some of that. And I think that's going to be crazy good when all that starts to come out. What else you want to say there, Meryl?
I was just about to say I'm kicking myself for not. I have the WS6 set up, of the Deus 2 in my car, and
Right.
I have the remote set up. But I was going to ask you, where does all the calculations happen with the Deus 2?
Where does all the calculations happen? Like,
Where
what do
does
you
all
mean by
the detecting math that's going on? Imagine the thinking that the Deus 2 does. Where does it happen?
Oh, it happens within the remote and within the machine.
The coil.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Because the remote and the WS6, those are interchangeable parts that just like communicate, very fast wireless signal, with the coil. And
Right.
my point in asking that, and sorry, yes, it was a rhetorical question. My point is that a new coil is very much like a new machine with the XP because what do you do with it? You pair it with a
The
device
coal.
that
Yeah.
communicates it
You're right.
to the human brain.
Right. So yeah, and Meryl's exactly right, because when that new coil comes out, you're basically getting a whole new other machine. Really, if the truth be known, and he's exactly right. So yeah, so all these people are going laugh out loud. Waiting is no fun. I know we're all in the same boat right now,
But it's
and I
good
know.
when it comes out.
Yeah, I know.
It's not.
But again, it goes back to what I said earlier. I think what you guys are seeing is you're seeing quality. And once that quality comes out, you're going to be happy with what you get, because they're not going to release it until it is right. And Meryl, I know Meryl will agree with me 100%. And as much as we want it right now, and they may have it ready to go in the near future, they're going to make sure it's right before they release it. There's not going to be, hey, I got to do this and that to it before. I mean, when they release it, they know it's right and they feel good about releasing it. Right, Meryl?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And look, Ricky Bennett says, come on, XP, I'm ready. Take my money. That's where we are. And again, the audio is so good on the Deus too. We hear a lot of things about screens and looking at the screens and VDI, but if Philippe is right about the audio for this new coil and them improving the audio even more, then I think we're in for something really special. I really do. That's just where I am on that whole process. Knows it digging. He's got this is a great comment. Voice control added to the Go Terrain. Is that possible? Like Alexa, hey Deus, turn up the volume. I don't know. It could be.
I'm dumb. I just talked to the smart people.
You just talk to the smart people. That's right. Let's see here. Swift Detecting says, anyone think having the remote have a lot more pros versus the WS6? One thing notice on WS6, you cannot change custom names for custom programs. Yeah, that is one downside to that.
In terms of detecting, it's no different.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't put it underwater. I'm not talking about that. In terms of like, how deep are you going to go? How well can you separate? How well can it perform in iron? It is completely identical. I mean, there's no like performance differences. There's utility differences, but there's no performance differences.
Right. Prospector's Cash says, yeah.
On the Extreme Hunter, there's limits to it. There's no backlight. The audio, you'd have to pair it with WS2.
Right.
But it's a Deus 2. It's a fully functional Deus 2 because the brain is in the coil.
Right, exactly. Danny Boy says, Metal Detecting NYC is, I'm a park, sport field, and beach detectorist. What coil would be the best all-around coil? Now, I like the 6-inch coil for parks and sports and 11 for beach. So one coil for the Deus 2. And I think Meryl's going to say the same thing I would say. Meryl, what do you recommend?
You're going to say 9. I'm going to say 11.
Yeah, okay. You're going to say 11. I'm going to say 9 for what I do now.
Yeah.
Now Michael knows that I love that 11-inch coil. And anybody that's watched our channel knows that I always say that when these machines were originally designed, they were designed usually for the bigger coil, the 11-inch coil. But the 9-inch coil has always been my bread and butter for the Deus 2 and for the XP Deus. I always use the 9-inch coil, love the 9-inch coil, and performs extremely well in iron. It gives me coverage. It gives me separation. It gives me the best of both worlds. I still think the 9-inch coil on the XP Deus 2 and the XP Deus is plenty deep.
What's the name of the girl who broke into the Bears' house and like ate their porridge and like sat in their beds and all that? Right. So the 11-inch coil is like what it's the new Goldilocks. You used to have that with frequencies.
It's
Now
just
we live in a multi-frequency world, but that is like right smack in the middle of in terms of target size.
Right.
That's what I'm really tuning into this year. You get a coil that's too big, you're not going to get the small targets as well. If you get a coil that's too small, you're not going to be able. 9-inch coil goes deep. Okay, look,
sure,
but circumference of the coil, circumference of the coil plus power, depth. Of course, ground conditions. I like 11. I have been I'll say this though, Brian.
Yeah.
More often than not, lately I've been going 9.
Yeah. Well, and some of our viewers are already chiming in 9-inch, 9-inch coil all day. The 11 has some benefits to it. And Michael and I know, and this was one thing too that I've stressed Merrill quite a bit on this channel, is that you need to use as many different size coils as you can possibly use on a site. Just like with programs, you can hunt with that 9-inch coil, but you can go right back into that same site with an 11-inch coil, and you're going to find something that you thought that where you had hunted, you didn't realize it, but you missed that target.
It's like the new multi-frequency. It was like switching frequencies before. Now it's coil size.
Right. Coil sizes are massive. You could go in there with a 13-inch coil and you're going to find something that you missed, as well. I mean, if you have the opportunity to go back to a different site with different size coils, do it. Now if you only got one shot, like Eminem said, you only got one shot, you know what I'm saying? Then you got to look at that site and decide, is it a trashy site? Is it a site that I can get away with a bigger coil? If it's a site that you can get away with a bigger coil, then use the 11-inch coil all day long. You still get great separation. You get ground coverage, and it's going to probably give it, like you just said, it's like the Goldilocks. It's the perfect zone. But if you're going into a trashy site and it's an iron site,
right,
then you or even aluminum or whatever, modern trash, you want to go with the 9 at that point. If you just want a place that you're going into and it's an open field, or you're not dealing with a lot of trash, you want the deepest possible coil that you can use, go with the 13. The 13 will help you. But the 13 really surprises me because it separates really well. And I think that's all because of XP and the way they designed this machine. The separation on the 13 is really good as well. Michael saw me go into a site and hunt with a 13-inch coil all day long. I did pretty good, didn't I, buddy?
Yeah, pretty good for a 13-inch coil.
Yeah, for a 13-inch coil, walked into a heavy iron site, started pulling targets left and right. And but again, you have to analyze your site and basically decide which coil is going to be the best coil for you. And that's just how I look at it. You might look at it a little bit different, Merrill. What do you think?
You're going to see it someday in the future. I have no doubt, Brian. There's a room in the XP facility where they have dirt from like around the world.
Yeah.
And they test and they test and they test. And there are like these absolutely adorable like nail board tests that are out there. I'm kind of opening up a big can of worms. but
Yeah.
it does not
They're
apply.
gonna be mad at you, Merrill. They're gonna be asking people for all kinds of dirt from all over the world. They're gonna have a whole room of nothing but dirt.
No, but that, to me, that's the right idea, because that is a important variable to test. And the way that different things, especially iron, behaves under the ground, and once it's disturbed, that's a whole nother story. But um it they're extremely thorough, extremely thorough. Everything is thought out. And when there's new innovations, like we're about to have the equivalent of a new planet in the XP galaxy, with that HF coil, which I know,
Right.
we keep teasing, but when it's right, it's coming out, and
Right.
you're gonna love it.
So here's a good one, Merrill. And Prospectors Cash is a great follower of our channel, subscriber to our channel. A 9-inch underwater, 11-inch general, 13-inch for the beach. I like the 13. I like running the 13 on the beach with the WSA6 to give me the lightest possible combination running, that setup. What say you on that?
I have been using the 11 on the beach. I started out with the 13. Mostly 11. It's what I pack. I've been doing the book bag thing, though. I like carrying the book bag with me.
All right.
And when I get in a zone, I get in a zone. I don't change things. But, I the big learning for 2024 for me was the coil size thing. If I'm getting small targets, because everybody is using that big coil on the beach. If you want those small targets, if you want those gold chains, it's the higher frequency, and it is the smaller coil. Believe it or not, I can't believe those words came out of my mouth as a beach hunter, but it's very much in my head this year. But if you want something that just like uh, Goldilocks zone, you're going to use the 11.
Right. Yeah. Well, and I use the 13, and I like the 13 on the beach with the WSA 6 puck mounted on there. And I've had great success with it. And then Michael's used the WSA 6 with the 13-inch coil too as well. Michael, what do you think about coil sizes? I know we've talked about this a bunch. I don't know if he can hear me, apparently. Michael, you there? Hello?
Yeah, I couldn't hear you. It was cutting out a little bit.
I said, what do you think about coil sizes?
What? For relic hunting, I like the 9-inch coil, but I mean, we've had a lot of good. We've had a lot of good finds with the 11-inch coil as well, and the 13 too. So I mean, it's like you said, you can go to the same spot and use a 9, 11, or 13, and you can go back and find targets. Same with the program. You can change programs, go back to a site, and you can, it's something different. But
right,
if I had to choose one as far as relic hunting, I would probably go with the 9.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I like the 9, and of course, relic hunting for Michael and I, the 9 inches is awesome. But the 11, I've used the 11 quite a bit, and I love the 11. Like Merrill said, it's almost like it's the perfect size. It's in that Goldilocks zone, like Merrill was saying, and I think you can get a lot out of it. So, the 11-inch coil is just it's a good one as well. The 13-inch, great for open fields, great for the beach, great for maybe not so trashy areas. And it really separates better than what people are going to give it credit for. And I've used all 3 coils, love all 3 coils, hands down, and just waiting for this HF coil and to see what it will do when I add that to my arsenal. And I know Merrill's going to add it to his arsenal. Michael's going to add it to his arsenal. And I think we're going to see a lot of great finds coming out of the ground from sites that we thought were hunted out, and they're not hunted out. Are they, Merrill?
No.
You know what I would really like to see, and maybe I don't know if this is possible. What if there was a coil that was an adjustable size coil that you could expand to make it whatever size you needed? be? That would be pretty interesting.
That's like a psychedelic question.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, so think about it. Think about if you could have a coil that you can make elliptical, but then you could expand it out. You could pull on the sides of it and then lock it into place and make it into a 9-inch round coil, or then expand it even bigger and make it into a 10 or 11-inch coil. What if there was a way to do that? I don't know. Just a thought.
My thought is that the shape of the coil is from a lot of testing, and um, I couldn't believe how much testing that I saw, and I learned to tune into a lot more than I thought that I was tuned into. I thought I was tuned into the entire universe. I was not. I'm talking about when I went to France, and
Right.
it was just such a great learning experience for me. But they test, and I think that's how the size is, and size and shape. Yeah.
Right. I think, to me, and this is just me personally, I mean, and I know the engineers could probably tell me a lot more. I like a round coil, Merrill, more so than anything. I think it gives you better coverage. I think it gives you better separation in some cases. But I know, ellipticals and the double D coils, those are the things. But I don't know. I like a round coil for sure.
2024, I must have gotten
Yeah.
on 50 planes, and what it's taught me is that the wingtips are still evolving.
Right.
And I'm trying, of course, to pair that with coils. You keep evolving it for the perfect settings, so that you could hear, so that you could separate, so that you could go deep. And I think that yeah, I think the testing has brought XP to the shape that it's at.
Right. Yeah. Somebody said, ask Elon Musk about my expandable coil. Indiana Tone said that. So, yes, Elon could do it. Probably so. I think he could too. So, but yeah, those are just some things. And I'm not going to hold everybody too much longer. Meryl, anything else you want to say about these promotions and some of the things that XP has coming in the future? And we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna do a giveaway. Meryl, you don't have to stick around if you need to go. I know we've been on here for an hour and 28 minutes. That's a long
It's
time.
always fun. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's different. XP is different. I'm proud of that. I like that there's no hype. I like that it's art. It's art from everything that I've seen from going over there, going through the facility there. There's so much care, and the desire to be great is there, and it's seen because every detector that they've released has been groundbreaking in one way or another. I think we currently have the most. I don't think there's an argument to this. XP has the most versatile machine on the market. And I'm going to back up. I know that's a big statement. I'm going to back up what I say. We're soon going to have a high frequency coil. And what does that do? That gets you um, elite performance in iron, small targets like gold flakes. Um, and you have the Extreme Hunter, which is the opposite end of the spectrum. It looks like a totally different detector, but
Right.
it's really a part of the Deus too. It pairs as a coil on the Deus too, and it goes down 16 feet, and you get big targets. You want cannonballs, bigger, deep. That's the detector. That's the coil that you want. You have the 9, 11, 13, which we just had a spirited debate about use, and a lot of
Right.
versatility with that. um I've been able to go down for like dime sized targets between 15 and 20 inches very frequently on the beach. In dirt, maybe about 15 inches in New York dirt, and of course that changes. There's a video of a gentleman in France, I think it was 19, almost 20 inches. um it goes down, it dives for 66 feet, That is the most versatile. Oh, it's got a GPS too. Go terrain.
Yeah.
Most versatile detector on the market. As Americans, we think new,
Right.
okay? And we think about like, oh, there's something new. It's going to be better. Think about what XP is doing. Think
Right.
about what
Yeah.
XP is doing. They keep on adding value. We keep on adding value to product that we have. We keep making it more versatile. And that gives you, as a treasure hunter, you and I, more
Right.
possibilities. So I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I know I'm rambling a little bit.
No, you're good.
Proud.
Everybody likes when we ramble. I mean, it brings up some great conversation. It brings up some great points. Meryl, we've talked about programs over the last few weeks. What's your favorite program? What's your go-to program?
Right now, I've been playing around with it a bit, and the first thing that I did was because like XP is famous for programs.
Right.
And I looked at the parameters that exist on the programs. I'm not saying that there's not much more that could be done, but with the standard factory programs, you have a very good representation of like what is out there. And I made one that's called Crater Maker, and then I was looking at how similar that it is to the beach programs. The audio is a little bit different, and the audio response, I made it sound like the deep targets are surface, and that's really the big trick to it. But for the most part, like programs, I I I know this is not really ambassador thing to say, but I stick because it's so global, like what's offered, I stick very much close to the programs that are there. I adjust the
Right.
audio to my liking. I adjust some of the parameters, but programs, um, I'm staying kind of close to what's there. What
Right.
I do on dirt, let's see, off the top of my head, deep high conductor, that's the one that has just grown with me. I know it cold. I use PWM. I what should we call it? I have it written down. It's not terribly different from what's there on the beach. Um,
Do
on
you
the
use beach sensitive? That's the real question.
I do use beach sensitive. That's my
Okay.
go-to. Yeah, like
Okay.
I
'Cause
base
I mean, I know you. I mean, I know you're what you're hunting is a little bit different than what Michael and I do in a lot of cases.
yeah.
And I know you're mainly beach and parks. So beach sensitive, you think for the beach? What do you run? Do you run sensitive full tones? Do you run what do you run? I mean, do you run full tones audio? Excuse me.
Yes, full tones. Actually, on the beach and dirt.
Okay.
Always full tones. And what should we call it? What's the oh my God, audio filter. I'm a
Okay.
big
So
fan of
do
audio
you run? I run the audio filter on one. What do you run the audio filter at all?
3. Yeah, 3 to 4.
You run it at 3 to 4. Oh
Yeah,
wow.
and
Yeah.
it's interesting what that does. Because it's almost like a little bit like auto tune. Like
Right.
it kind of like fills in the blanks for a signal. But when you get that good deep signal, and not everything is deep, you don't have to do this. I think you hear the nuances more with with the lower level on that. But sometimes, like send it in times, I'm going to turn that up a little bit.
So do you run PWM or are you running high square or square tones
For a
when you
long
run them?
time, I did square, and
Okay.
if I'm detecting a beach that's flat, like for instance, this lake bed that I just did, everything is going to be very close to the same level, because everything dried up with the drought. And what I found is you have all of these signals that were relatively recent drops that are there. And what square tones does for me, you could really hear the size of the target better.
Right, right.
And if you're getting a chunky gold ring or a fishing weight or something, you will clearly hear the difference between a coin and a larger object. And you'll also really hear like the shape differences. You're not going to be able to say, "Oh yeah, that's a triangle, that's a square," but you could hear symmetry with it. You could tell when something is symmetrical or asymmetrical.
Right.
I have lately gone back to PWM, but on certain instances, like a flat lake bed, where you kind of have most of the targets at the same level,
Right.
that's where I go square.
So what do you run for parks? What's your favorite park program?
My God, I have it written down. My memory is parks. I'm still doing deep high conductor, and
Okay.
I've
All
forced
right.
myself to branch out more. But I'm that guy that when I go to my favorite restaurant,
Mhm.
I get the same food.
Right.
And I've had to separate that because I want my knowledge to be global with it.
Sure. I get that. I get that 100%.
But you
And I'm
open me
dialed
back
in.
to your
I mean,
favorites.
I relic hunt, so I'm sensitive full tones all day long. Of course, I've got my own program, the sweeper program, which most of our audience is very familiar with. The sensitive full tones, PWM, max frequency at 40. We're running our sensitivity around 90. We're running recovery at 2.53. We're running an audio filter of 1. We use that program quite religiously, and it works very, very well. The thing that I like about sensitive full tones versus all the other programs is its ability to be able to properly ID the target versus any of the other programs. And that's something that too, I'm hoping that XP is going to address maybe with this next update or with these next calls, that maybe we get a little better ID when it comes to some of those targets mixed into iron. If you run any other program, sensitive, you run deep high conductor, you run park, you run general, you're going to get a 789 if there's a piece of iron laying next to a non-ferrous target, and you're going to think it's iron. You're going to walk away from it. And I think I showed you this too whenever I was with you at Digstock. But sensitive full tones is definitely my go-to program for relic hunting. But I also love fast. I still have to deal with the 789 deal, but I know that I can turn on that target, and I know that that target will be easily identifiable if I turn on it just slightly, and I've got it set up properly. Running pitch, I can run pitch, or I can run full tones on that program, and I get very, very, very successful results. On the beach, I run beach sensitive. I run my salt sensitivity at 7. I run my reactivity at 2, sometimes 1.5.
How do you remember all of this?
I just do. I mean, hey, I'm a history teacher. I need to know those numbers, right?
I got to certain that too.
So,
but I taught.
and I'm an economics
career
teacher. I
now.
got to know numbers,
So,
right?
well, I tell you what, since we're both teachers, I got homework for everybody. Now,
Yeah.
personally, I don't believe in target ID. I don't. I can't. I do speak for XP because
Yeah.
I'm ambassador.
Right.
Let me
Sure.
speak for myself on this one for this instance, but I'm going to prove myself. Now, this is what I want everybody to do. I want everybody to grab a piece of aluminum foil from the kitchen, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to fold it 2 times, like, piece of paper that you're folding. So it's like 4 parts right on top of each other. Go over it with your metal detector. You're going to see it's going to be like a foil signal, because it's a loose piece of foil.
Right.
So it's folded, it's like 4 times, so it's going from that big box to like 4 smaller boxes folded over each other. Now, fold it again and put your detector over it. You're going to have a higher target ID. Maybe it's gone from like the 30s to, to the 50s now. Then you're going to fold it again, tight, push it in together. Just keep folding it as much as you can. You are going to end up with a highly conductive target. And what is that going to teach you? The density, and of course, the type of metal.
Sure.
It's what affects it's called the phase shift in the metal detector. The receptor coil and whatchamacallit coil, the 2 coils on the inside of the metal detector, and the difference between the 2 is timed, and you can get somewhat of a calculation from that. But really, it's also based on the thickness, of the object that it is, and the surface area, and the type of metal that it is. And again, if you fold that same piece of aluminum foil again and again, you're going to get a different target ID. I want everybody to try that. Ever since I did that, I have not,
Well, you bring up a great point. The way a target is shaped, Merrill, has a lot to do with the audio of that particular target in
yes,
a lot of cases.
like I said, you could hear symmetry or asymmetry.
Right.
Yeah.
You're going to know if a target is sort of mangled, if it's not necessarily perfectly round in a lot of cases. And you just brought up a great point. That is the superior audio of the Deus 2 that you're going to be able to recognize that. Michael, what do you think about those mangled targets, or those targets that aren't necessarily round or misshaped, or maybe a little bit thicker, like Merrill said, like if you wadded up a piece of aluminum foil?
I think the audio on the Deus too, especially PWM, you can really hear that misshapen targets. If it's round, you can hear. I hate to say it's a round sound to it, but it's a smoother tone to it.
That's right.
Yeah, it's just got a different sound to it that you're gonna know, you're gonna recognize, and you're gonna say, "Oh, I know that's a coin," or "Oh, I know that's a button," or "Oh, I know that's not necessarily right." And you'll see me say that. And I put up one of my videos over here on the side. So if you're interested in getting in on the giveaway tonight, you definitely want to go over there, leave a comment over there on the video. That puts you into the running tonight for the video. But go over there, just scan the QR code or click on the link, and you can go straight there, leave a comment. That gets you in on the giveaway. But if you go watch that video, what you're going to see me doing is you'll hear me saying all along, "Hey, this doesn't sound right," or "Hey, this has got a weird sound to it." And usually it can be a target turned, or it could be a misshaped target, or it's a target that's mixed in iron. Now, again, I was running deep high conductor, but I was running something unique. I was running the max frequency on 40 on that video. And that tended to change not only did it change the target ID, but it tended to change the audio a little bit. And in some cases, I got fooled. And you'll hear me say that throughout the video. But again, those types of targets is why the XP audio is just so good on misshaped targets, round targets. You can tell sort of what that's possibly going to be just simply by listening in a lot of cases. And Merrill's exactly right. Merrill, you want to add to that?
Just like I was going to go off on another tangent about
It's okay.
numbers. I've seen people get upset about a coin not reading the same way, and then they give an example of a coin that has been eroded. I'll say eroded. Thinned out. We've all seen a thin coin, whether it be like beaten up at the beach or like one of these really old thin reals that are just so thin. You're going to get a different target ID with a freshly minted coin than a coin that has been decayed in the ground, for sure. It's not going to be much. And there's different coins. I've done all of the tests. I did this on several metal detectors, including the Deus 2, and it all came back consistent. Pennies, American pennies, have the widest range in their signals. Clad coins, surprisingly, have the most narrow range.
Right.
Like clad dimes, like that's consistent unless if they're eroded, eaten away a bit.
Right.
And if it's thinner, you're going to get a different target ID. It's very much like that. Silver, the newer silver, surprisingly, that goes a little bit higher.
Merrill, I got a great question for you.
Yeah.
Have you ever dug a target lower than 30 on the XP Deus 2?
Yes.
And did it turn out to be something good?
Chain.
A chain.
Yes.
You dug a chain. I mean, I'm assuming it was a really thin chain that you dug.
Yes.
That was below 30. And it was a gold chain? Or was it a junker?
I think it was a junker, but it was a chain.
It was a chain. Okay.
I don't think
we've been having that debate. I mean, how many times have you gone out and dug a target under 30? That was one of the things that, should we just notch out everything below 30?
So the other day, that gold ring that I was telling you about before the show, I was going to walk away from that gold ring. It was a 39.
Right.
Now, you know what's wild about Target ID? If you get
and we just got through saying audio is supreme in most of these cases. But we're just curious, if we look at that, if we listen to the audio and it's sort of suspect and it's ringing up below 30, are we going to dig that target? Is that a target that's worth, if it's on the beach, are you going to go 12, 13 inches down to try to get that target? That's my question.
Depends on the part of the beach. If it's a high wave area, it's a high wave area, you better believe it, like 100 times out of 100.
Right.
Even if it is that like
right
low signal, yes, I'm digging. You better, especially if it's a low signal, low in sound from a low target ID.
Right.
Because if you get at it, that means it's heavy.
Right.
And
of course.
Yeah, you're going to get it there. Far back on the beach, it is probably going to be aluminum foil. But the part of the beach,
well, I mean, if you're down near the water, you're near the water's edge, or you're in the water, and you get that signal, you dig it.
Yeah,
you're gonna dig it.
But I miss. Everybody misses.
Yeah, I know. I'm just curious.
Yeah,
I'm just curious as to what you do in that situation, because that's been one of the things that we've been talking about. Signals that are below 30. I have yet to dig a signal below 30 that has turned out to be something, that's good. That was my whole thinking on it. But of course, I dug a few colonial buttons, just like what you'll see if you watch this video, where, that signal actually fooled me. I'm thinking, all these colonial buttons are going to be, 50 or above at least. And I dug one that was a 48. But it wasn't a pewter button. It wasn't lead. It wasn't anything like that. But it was just odd. And I've dug some small colonial cuff buttons that are coming in the mid 50s and so on. And so, getting stuck on those numbers sometimes, just like we were just saying earlier, isn't necessarily the thing that you need to look at. You need to listen to that audio, see if it's repeatable, and then dig it. More than likely that you're gonna come out on the better end.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. I'm looking at some of these comments. Digging Dude says site dependent coke commonly rings up 24.29 for me. Of course, coke size varies, right? And I know that coke is a big deal, especially over in Europe. And do those guys notch out those coke signals, right? Gold earring. Here's one
1 liter
comes
bottle
in 30 to 32. Right. Those little small. And then like the earring backs, Meryl, you know how those ring up? Those ring up really weird sometimes. And I mean, you dig those, but they're really low in a lot of cases.
Not even a week ago, it was a learning experience. I walked away from this signal and I walked back and I did think to myself, okay, Meryl, that could be gold. But I walked away first and I came back and it was 39 and it was a beautiful, beautiful gold ring.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, you can get surprised sometimes. That's the great thing about the hobby, though, Meryl. Regardless of us talking about machines, isn't it so nice when you dig something that you sort of suspect, and all of a sudden it comes out of the ground and it's just something fabulous.
The inference is so fun. It almost gets boring if we know for a fact, like
I know.
Yeah,
it is for sure. Let's see here. We got some comments. Meryl may come off bold, but this man has found more gold than all you bling. Check out his box of rings. Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, there you go, Meryl. So, and I live at the beach, Meryl, but believe it or not, I do more relic hunting than I do beach hunting. I enjoy that aspect of it a lot more than hunting on the beach. I mean, the funny thing about it is my beach is it's, you know, we get traffic, but we don't get like tons and tons of traffic. And so, you know, you can go out on my beach, you can walk for days and you might not even get a signal. I mean, that's how desolate it can be. So I have to go all the way up to Myrtle or go down to Charleston before I could definitely start finding rings. And sometimes I'll do that, but I just like the relic. I'm in it for the history, and that's my main thing, and that's what I enjoy doing. All right, so Meryl, we're getting ready to get out of here, but before we do, we are going to do a giveaway. Y'all ready for a giveaway tonight? Michael, you ready for a giveaway? We're about to put Michael to sleep. We'll see.
What do you got on that giveaway?
So we got a couple of things. Number one, we got an XP finds pouch that we're going to give away tonight. Meryl, you ever seen one of those before?
I use it.
It's an awesome little pouch, lightweight, you know, just perfect. Put on your belt. If you got one of those Velcro belts, you can get one of those. We're going to be giving away one of those as well. Also, we're going to be giving away, and if he is on here, and let's see if I can pull his stuff up. We're going to give up relics and rings. Andrew's Gearbox has donated a few T-shirts for our giveaway tonight, and you can go check out his site. And he's got some great looking metal detecting T-shirts. Meryl, you need to get you one of these.
Yeah,
get you one that says Relic Hunter on the front with the flag. This is my favorite though, and I show this every time. But he's also got this one, and I think we all can relate to this one, right, Meryl?
What's that say there?
It says, "Work really sucks. I'm going metal detecting." So, you know, we can do that. He's got some great hats. Got some great hats here.
Nice.
Just super nice hats if you're interested in those types of things. But we're going to give away a pouch, and we're going to give away a T-shirt from Andrew's Adventures Gearbox. So Relics and Rings, great sponsor of the channel, super nice guy, great metal detectorist. Go check out his YouTube channel too. It's a great channel as well, and he can get you hooked up with some things as well. Everybody says very educational show tonight. Thanks, guys, and we appreciate everyone tuning in. Metal Detecting Northwestern Wisconsin said those pouches are really easy to dump out. Just pull the liner inside out and all good to go. Check out Andrew's Gearbox. Definitely Adventures Gearbox. Super nice products. And he's been willing to give away some merchandise on here as well. So please check out his site. And we're going to give away a T-shirt, and we're giving away a finds pouch from XP. Again, thank you, XP, for donating the finds pouch. For those of you that have the finds pouch, you know it's a great one, and one that is super nice and easy to use and very lightweight. Michael, we like using that finds pouch, don't we?
I do. It's easy to grab, and it's lightweight, like you said. And we got other pouches, but I find myself grabbing that more because it's just so easy to, compact and easy to use.
So a lot of you are wondering, how do I get in on the giveaway? All you have to do is go on the video, leave a comment over there on the video. It's the video that you see pictured on the screen right now. XP Deus 2 exposes the secrets of the past. You can scan the QR code, or you can click on the link, go over there, leave a comment over there, and that gets you into the running for tonight's giveaway. And then we're going to do a drawing from there. Again, if you win, please send me your address, and we will get that out to you. And Relics and Rings will send out the T-shirt, and I will mail out the finds pouch. So again, get in on that, and we'll get you guys up and running. We'll give you guys a few minutes while we're waiting on everybody to get a chance to get in on the giveaway. Meryl, what do you got going on coming up? Tell us a little bit about maybe some metal detecting adventures you got going on. If you're going to be at any events, what's on the horizon for Metal Detecting NYC?
I've got like about 7 hunts filmed. This is a time like my family is needing me right
Right.
now.
Yeah, I
And
get it.
it's not like I'm taking a break or anything like that. But I always think of this like a marathon, and it's what I do. It's what I
Yeah,
love to do.
sure.
Um, and why rush it? So sometimes you just you turn the volume down a little bit, or you turn the speed down a little bit. The reactivity.
Right. Yeah,
So
you turn the reactivity down.
this month, I think I'm putting out 2 videos. There have been months that I've put out 20 videos. And, I know YouTube likes, like a
Consistent.
schedule and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I can't do that right now.
No, well, look, I'm in the same boat. I'm a
Yeah.
teacher. You're a teacher. Michael works. I mean, it's hard, and anybody that thinks that this is easy, it's not easy. Trust me, and it takes a lot of time to make a video, edit a video, produce that video, and then upload it, download it, all those types of things. I mean, it's a lot of work. And when you got other jobs and other responsibilities and family and everything else, I mean, it is. It's hard to keep up with that schedule on a regular basis. And like I said, you guys know that I've been coaching, teaching, doing this. I was taking care of my dad for a long time. So, I've had a lot going on, and I understand where Meryl's coming from. I mean, it is tough to keep up with a grinding schedule. We're hoping that we can stay on our schedule though from here on in. We're going to try to be coming to you guys every Friday night. We've also got our membership channel while we're sitting here waiting on everybody to jump in and get in on the giveaway. Sign up for our membership channel. We're going to be doing a special video, especially as we get closer to Christmas for our members. If you're a member, you can get in on some of the special giveaways that we're going to be doing during the month of December. So if you're not a member, you definitely want to get in on that. It's a great opportunity. We also share some information that we don't always share right away on the live stream. The regular live stream. So that's another way to get in. You get a special badge if you join in with us, and lets everyone know, hey, I'm a supporter of Southern Relic Adventures, and that keeps our channel going. It pays for these live streams. And everyone that donated money tonight, I really appreciate that. All of that money definitely goes right back in to what we're doing on here, whether it be paying for a camera, paying for this service, all those different types of things, and it keeps our content coming to you guys. So just hit that join button down below, and you can join in and be a part of the channel and sign up for a membership, and we would greatly appreciate it. You don't have to. We're still going to be coming to you live once a week, but we also do at least one members only live stream each month. So you definitely, if you're interested in that, sign up for that. We would greatly appreciate it. So, Michael, what else you got going on? Tell us a little bit. I know you're coming down here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And tell them, hey, wait a minute, while we're waiting on everybody to get in, tell them about your big day today. Tell them what happened to you. Meryl might be interested in this. Meryl, you need to hear this.
I'm listening.
My big day.
Yeah. Tell them about your big thing that happened today.
Yeah, I got off of work and went deer hunting, and I killed a nice 8-point buck this evening.
Oh, wow. So it was a big one. Tell you got to walk us through it, Michael. You can't just say I killed an 8-point buck and then leave it at that. Give us the rundown. Give us the story.
It's a long lane that it's cut, from thin forest, and it was 275-yard shot.
Wow. 275 yards. That's crazy, Michael.
Yeah.
You're a dang good shot, buddy. So what did you do? You're not telling us about it. Tell us what you did after you killed it.
Well, I carried it to a guy that processes it, and he's going to make hamburger and sausage and it vacuum seal it and everything. So we'll have some meat.
Yeah.
For the win.
All right. Meryl, do you eat deer? Have you ever had deer before?
Yeah, I had a friend who hunts, and brought me deer. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Michael's a big time hunter. He goes all over the place. He's been to Wisconsin. He's been out west. He just goes and hunts everywhere.
I once road killed a squirrel.
Yeah, road killed a squirrel. Michael,
doesn't count though.
I don't know if you've told Meryl. Tell Meryl what you actually do for a living.
Well, I'm a tool and die maker, but we make scoop mounts for rifles and AR-15s, and I make fishing soft bait fishing molds. So we mold, for like bass fishing.
Yeah. So Michael, you know what we need to do? We need to get a link that we can put up on our site, because there's a lot of people on here that are hunters and fishermen that would probably love to get some of you guys' stuff, I'm sure.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, we definitely need to do that. All right, guys. So we're closing in on the witching hour. So let's hopefully everybody's had an opportunity to leave a comment over on the video, and we are going to do our pick for tonight's giveaway. And we appreciate XP. We appreciate Andrew's Gearbox for giving us the giveaways for tonight. And again, hopefully somebody gets it that really wants it. So, and check out Andrew's Gearbox as well. And we're going to, let me pull the video up real quick, Michael. And we are going to, got some noise going on here. And we will share the screen. And I will let's share our screen. So let's stop sharing XP and let's share our other screen as well. And we're going to share our comment picker, and it is over there on the side, and we're going to paste that link in there. All right. Y'all ready? Meryl, you ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be cool. So let's fetch. Anything goes. So let's see.
Meryl said he's ready to go to bed.
I know. Meryl says, you guys talk too long. You Southern guys, y'all run your mouth too much. Probably.
Oh, no. It's you understand that a week after teaching, clock hits 9, you're like,
yeah.
So
trust me, I know. All right. So we got 41 comments. Now we had 100 something people in here, and we only got 41 comments. That's crazy. But hey, those 41 people have a chance to win. And let us know if you are here. If you win, if not, we'll do it again. So we're going to pick a winner, and our winner is Mr. DC Diggin. DC Diggin. If you are in here, let us know right now, and let's get you hooked up with a t-shirt from Andrew's Gearbox and a XP Metal Detecting pouch. So Mr. DC Diggin. So let's see if he's in here. Let us know, DC Diggin, if you are. He was in here earlier, and he left a comment. And we're waiting. I got to flip my screen. My screen's on the other. He says, great video, Brian. I appreciate it. He says he's here. He's here. DC Diggin is in the house. So congratulations, DC Diggin. You're getting a t-shirt. Let me know your size, and I will send that to Andrew's Gearbox, and he will get your t-shirt out to you. And I also need your address. So real quick, let me put up my email address, if I can find it. And naturally, it is not up here, but I can put it up there. Let me add it real quick, and we will get S-A-N-S. Got to type it in, Michael. Okay, everything got erased. They must have did an update. All I can figure. Add.
Yeah, something like that.
They had to, because there it is. My email address is down at the bottom. DC Digging. Send me your address, and I will get you hooked up with your XP Finds pouch, and we will get you hooked up with an Andrews Gearbox T-shirt. You can let him know your size. Let me know your size. I'll send it to him, and you can select the T-shirt from his site as well, and he'll get you hooked up with a T-shirt. So again, congratulations to DC Digging. Always super to have him on here, and he's a great supporter of the channel as always. And I think that's going to be a wrap, guys. And we are going to get out of here tonight. Meryl, anything you want to say before we head out?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Go XP.
Go XP. we definitely covered the XP gamut as well. So hopefully, guys, you got something entertaining, something that you can take with you, something that you can enjoy from our live stream tonight. And we appreciate every single one of you for being here tonight. Again, we appreciate Merrill taking the time out of his night after a long work week of teaching, which I can relate to that. I appreciate Michael. Michael got to go out and hunt and killed him a deer, nice 8-point buck. So we appreciate Michael being here tonight, and we appreciate XP. Go check out those XP deals, guys. I don't think you'll be disappointed. One more time, there's the QR code. You can click on that link. It'll take you straight to the XP store on Amazon. You can get those deals from XP for the Black Friday deals and specials. If you don't want to go through Amazon, contact your local dealer. We went through a lot of those deals at the beginning of the show. There's plenty of stuff to pick from. We've talked about how good XP products are, why all three of us love XP products, and why we all three use those XP products. So definitely go check them out. You won't be disappointed if you buy an XP product. You're buying quality. You're buying one of the best machines on the market, and a machine that is very versatile, and a machine that a machine that's very customizable as well. So check XP out. Scan that QR code. If you do scan that QR code, it's linked to my store as well. I do get a small commission. I will say that through Amazon, very, very small. But also you can get it directly from XP going through this route as well. So again, guys, we appreciate y'all being here tonight. Meryl, thank you so much. We appreciate you being with us tonight. Thank you for your information, your knowledge. I know everyone appreciated it. Hopefully everyone learned something tonight or got something that they can take with them on their next adventure or their next hunt. And Michael, as always, love having you here with me, buddy. It's been a great night, great show. Appreciate each and every one of you, and hope everyone has a fantastic weekend. You guys take care, and we will catch you guys on our next adventure. And we are out of here. Meryl, thank you again. We'll see you guys real soon. Take care.